In the fall of 2005, before streaming services existed, I was at a Blockbuster in Cicero, Illinois. My Aunt Flora was gonna buy me a DVD for my 8th birthday. I remember walking past the family-friendly animation and earthly action flicks to stop at this rectangle right here. Alien vs. Predator. Look at these cool, freaky-looking creatures, I thought to myself. I really want to see them fight. And so that's how I discovered the Predator movies. With the 9th one recently becoming available on streaming, I thought I'd take a moment to reflect on this series of movies as a whole. Where it started, where it's at, and what we can expect in the next few years. In 1987, Major Dutch Schaefer, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, led an elite team through the jungles of Central America. What they thought would be a simple mission of killing humans for political reasons ends with Dutch being the only survivor, as he is hunted by something not of this earth. This alien has technology more advanced than what humans have, laser-guided blasters, and the ability to camouflage itself to 99% invisibility. This can be expected from an alien race that has managed to cross the vast distances required to reach us. But it is also taller than most humans, stronger, faster, a better lover, I presume. Dutch beats it by covering himself in mud and hiding his body heat from the alien's thermal vision, which wouldn't work in real life, but whatever, it's an 80s action movie, and luring him into a trap. The movie ends with the alien using its voice mimicking capabilities to mock Dutch like a schoolyard bully.
What the hell are you?
And turning into a sewer slide bomber, going out like a total Chad alpha. The American public was bewildered by this grotesque movie monster. It was the ultimate hunter, a foreign, mysterious alien, yet weirdly human, acting as a commentary on our own primal nature. The Predator can be seen as a metaphor for imperialism, martial culture, military might, but I think it's best seen as a critique on toxic masculinity. The themes of masculine identity are ever present in this movie. Masculinity is about more than just having male genitals and being strong. It's about behaviors such as using that strength to dominate others. It's about mastering the art of violence, achieving this mastery no matter what harm it does to you or others. If femininity is about creating life and nurturing it, then masculinity is about destroying life and controlling it. There are positive aspects of masculinity like being a provider and protecting others, but toxic masculinity takes all of the negative aspects of masculinity and amplifies them. Rulers harness the power of toxic masculinity to turn men like Dutch into useful instruments of government power. Dutch and his team are good examples of hypermasculine men. With their technological superiority, they stalk their prey and easily take them all out. But when the Predator does the exact same thing to them, they are rendered powerless and gazed upon by someone they can't see but is always watching them, like women who are constantly stared at in public. Their bodies are turned into trophies by the Predator, much like women who are treated like trophies by men. In a way, these men are feminized by the Predator, and this loss of control makes them go mad. This forced feminization is kind of foreshadowed earlier on in the movie, when they're riding in the helicopter doing feminine things, removing unwanted hair, applying makeup, and not laughing at inappropriate jokes about women's bodies. The movie is a genius and classic piece of science fiction, and I thank God that they didn't go with the original Predator design, which looked kind of like a roach.
Come and get it! El Scorpio is ready!
Predator 2 was a lot like the first one, except replaced Arnold Schwarzenegger with Danny Glover, and replaced the Central American jungle with Los Angeles, California. Meaning that the Predator has a lot more human interaction in this movie. LA is depicted as a war zone with gangs of minorities running the city, but neither the Colombians, nor the Jamaicans, nor the police are any match for the Predator. The ending to this movie is really important because it reveals 1, that the Predator isn't alone, there's many of them, 2, that they're not just mindless killers. They could have easily killed Danny Glover and avenged their dead homie, but they didn't, out of respect, suggesting that they have some sort of warrior code of honor. And 3, the Predators have been visiting Earth since at least the 1700s, possibly even since dinosaur times if the skull in the trophy room is a T-Rex. While Predator 2 might not be as good as the original Predator, it significantly advanced the world building of the Predator franchise. This movie was hinted at in a 1989 comic book series, Aliens vs. Predator, and in the trophy room of the last movie, where we can clearly see a xenomorph skull. A survivalist expert is hired by Wayland Industries to lead an expedition to a remote island near Antarctica, where they find an underground pyramid used by young, unblooded Yautjas to sacrifice humans, creating xenomorphs for them to hunt, and proving themselves worthy of joining the clan, becoming blooded. The Yautjas start losing the fight until our human protagonist jumps in on their side. They defeat the massive xenomorph queen, but unfortunately, her predator ally got impregnated by a face hugger, which leads to the next movie. What's interesting about this movie is that it takes the ancient aliens conspiracy, that stuff the History Channel was talking about when they got bored of actual history, and claims that the Yautjas were the alien species that came thousands of years ago to teach humans how to build these pyramids. It was a great way to make the movie feel grandiose and ancient. The Pred-Alien, or Predator-Alien hybrid, bursts out of the chest of its victim and kills everybody on the ship, and we learn that these masks they wear aren't just for heat vision and tracking. They also record everything they see and send it back to their home planet. The ship carrying the Pred-Alien crash lands, and this Predator makes his way to Earth to find the Pred-Alien and put it down. The Pred-Alien pulls a Nick Cannon, impregnating everything he sees, creating an army of xenomorphs that take over the town. Since the town was small and likely remote, the military was able to successfully bomb it and contain the xenomorph threat. This movie was a lot darker than the first one, not gonna lie. RIP to this poor kid. But I enjoyed seeing more of the Predator's arsenal of weapons, and even better, we get a brief look into the Yautja's home planet. They live on a dry-looking planet with an orange atmosphere and interesting-looking black buildings that connect to each other.
Die, you space faggot! Who you think you're dealing with, huh? Is that all you got?
This one is up there with the best Predator movies, but it's lesser known and severely underrated. We got Adrian Brody from King Kong, Alice Braga from City of God and I Am Legend, friggin' Morpheus, Danny Trejo, Walton Goggins, whose career is blown up recently, plus the kid from that 70s show when Spider-Man 3 plays a creepy serial killer. The premise is simple yet interesting. Earth's deadliest killers wake up on an alien planet and find out they've been chosen to test the Predator's skills on this planet that they use as hunting grounds. It takes a while for the Predators to get there, but the alien plants, life, and sky make up for it. I'm just a huge sucker for the concept of realistic alien worlds. Imagining creatures and plant life that evolved naturally on a different planet, it tickles my fancy in a way that is unexplainable. And I'm sure it tickles the fancy of a lot of Americans, which is why the Avatar films are so popular. In this movie, we find out that the Predators can sometimes get into deadly beefs with each other, and they've been kidnapping people from Earth for years. That's why this Yakuza boss is able to find an authentic katana from the samurai period, culminating in this wonderful scene. Another great thing about Predators is that it recreates the ending scene from the first movie. Remember when Dutch was like, "Come on, do it now, kill me, get to the chopper." Wow.
Come on! Do it now! Kill me! No! Do it now! Kill me!
Adrian Brody may not look as impressive as Arnold Schwarzenegger, but his nose makes him better equipped to sniff out danger, which adds a +5 awareness ability to his combat score.
Adrian Brody doing sit-ups in 3D.
One. One.
I'm not going to say much about this one since I don't have a lot of positive things to say. If you're a longtime fan of the Predator franchise, you understand why. Boyd Holbrook from Narcos is in it, as well as Keegan-Michael Key from Key and Peele. Oh, and they introduced a new assassin Predator, this one being 11 feet tall and smarter than other Predators. If The Predator killed the franchise, then Prey revived it. The Predator didn't do too well at the box office, and a lot of fans started to lose interest, believing the best days of the Predator franchise were behind it. Then Hulu dropped this unexpected masterpiece, and suddenly people were talking about the Predator again. It brought the Predator back to being a simple story about an alien visiting Earth and making light work of its deadliest killers, losing in the end to a special human that uses strategy and creativity. Except this time it's in the northern Great Plains of America around the year 1715, and this time the Predator comes from some sort of desert tribe that has evolved bone culture, hence the bone mask and the stronger jaws for crushing bones. I love this movie because it combined two of my favorite things, sci-fi aliens and history, specifically the Native American warriors. I find Native American culture very fascinating, and I'm sure a lot of you do too, otherwise Avatar wouldn't be as popular. I'm sorry, I know this is like the third time mentioning Avatar on this channel, but it's one of my favorite movies, and eventually I'll drop a video on it. We also get to see where the antique pistol from Predator 2 comes from, implying that in Prey 2, the Yautjas come back to Earth to get it back in blood. Those poor Native Americans. They were already fighting an invasion of aliens with advanced technology called Europeans, aka the British, the French, the Spanish. Now they have to add Yautjas to the list of invaders.
Don't engage with whatever that is.
I give the order, son.
Listen to Vandy. Stay in your lane, Torres.
The beautiful thing about animation as a medium is that it keeps costs down. You can write a story that takes place 1,000 years in the past, or on a different planet, or 1,000 years in the future, without a giant budget for things like costumes, set locations, extras. The main reason we don't have that many good historical movies is that recreating the past is expensive. Predator Killer of Killers uses animation to give the fans what they've been asking for a while. 1. More details about the Predator's homeworld, their leaders, and 2. More stories about the Predator visiting Earth and fighting human warriors in various historical settings. We got Predators versus Vikings, Predators versus Samurai, Predators versus pilots in World War II. I don't know if this movie is canon or not, but apparently every human that ever beat a predator got kidnapped and is preserved on a ship. It's sad to think that nobody's ever faced a predator and won, that the moments of triumph we felt with Dutch, Lieutenant Harrigan, Naru were fleeting, and none of these characters got a happy ending. Like many people, I paid to see Predator Badlands in theaters, and I liked it so much I paid to see it again. For one, we finally get a story where the Yautja is the protagonist we root for. Plus, we get more insight into the Yautja's life cycle, with Dek being a youngling adolescent, and his father being an older Yautja with gray dreadlocks. They introduce new Yautja weapons, which are an interesting blend of primitive and advanced technology. A new planet called Genna with nightmare creatures that make the Australian outback look like Weenie Hut Juniors. We learn that in this hardcore Yautja warrior culture, they cull the weak, and fathers won't think twice about killing their own sons for showing signs of weakness. The bulk of the movie is Dek trying to prove his strength, endurance, and bravery on the Death Planet with the most hostile creatures in the known universe. And spoiler alert, when Dek finally proves himself worthy of joining the clan, when he bests his father in combat and has him on his knees, basically apologizing, saying he was wrong for calling Dek weak and that actually he is worthy enough to become Dek of the Yautja. Dek says F that and kills his own father anyway, rejecting this whole system. He's like, I'm not gonna be a part of your society, man. Because now he has his own clan, the Kalisk baby and an AI synthetic android. No disrespect to his chosen family, but he's on a foreign planet. What's he gonna do for food? And isn't he eventually gonna wanna mate with a female Yautja? Abandoning your species in society isn't easy. And to end it all, we get a post-credit scene that changes everything. With 2 words, female Yautjas. After 9 Predator movies and 38 years since the first one, we have the first mention of female Yautjas. We don't get to see what they look like just yet. They're saving that for the sequel. They're finally going to include the opposite gender in this franchise of movies that are thematically about toxic masculinity and warrior/military/martial culture. I'm ultra geeked for this sequel to find out what happens to Dek and to learn about female Yautjas, their biology, their role in society, and how they add to or alter the themes developed in the previous movies. So what does Predator Badlands mean for the Predator franchise? Well, for certain, it means more Predator movies. This movie proved that the Predator IP can get people into movie theater seats at a time when Hollywood is out of ideas and the Marvel Cinematic Universe is long past its prime. Am I saying the Predator franchise is the next MCU? No. I wish these movies would reach Avengers Infinity War or Endgame levels of popularity, but they won't. I'm just saying they're well positioned to grow in popularity since it looks like superhero movies are out, and sci-fi has been a popular genre since at least the 1960s. Shout out to the original Star Trek. And I predict we're gonna get a movie that takes place entirely on the Yautja's home planet of Yautja Prime. We've been getting little snippets here and there, but I think it's finally time for them to show us the whole thing. All of it. Yautja cities, the inside of their buildings, Yautja systems of government, their leadership, whether the Yautjas go to war with each other or not. Do they have a military? Maybe we'll even see Yautja children. Mark my words and check back 5 years later, a movie on Yautja Prime is coming. Another possibility is that these movies get even deeper and more philosophical, because at its core, the story of Yautjas is the story of us. Yautja culture is basically the warrior culture taken to the extreme and with better technology. Killing their own children for being weak is literally what the ancient Spartans did. That was one of the few things 300 got right about ancient Spartan society. Believing that the most important thing in life is to die an honorable death in battle is what countless human militaristic societies believe. We still call soldiers, whose job is similar to a warrior but not exactly the same, heroes. The future Predator movies could explore questions like, will we ever live in a world without violent competition for resources? Do men need to feel a connection to their violent primal nature in order to be happy? Are we doomed to repeat the past forever? What if we finally meet aliens and it turns out they're not here to help us, but to harm us? Am I overthinking what's supposed to be a fun movie about a swole alien in fishnet stockings and dreadlocks? We'll see in these next coming years. Thank you for watching my entire video. These videos take a long time to make, but I genuinely enjoy making them and putting them out there in the world for others to see.